Well, Cass, you gotta admit, it's fresh and it's really big.
What's going on?
Don't ask.
Oh, the big boy. The big daddy. But we can't do that yet. We still gotta get through Beneath the Surface.
We got a paper due tomorrow. And why aren't you working on yours?
Finished it last
Don't
week.
even say it.
Okay, so check it out, right? Growing up, I had the White Thunder VHS tape, and that's the only tape I ever had that genuinely got worn out from usage. I'd watch it every day, all day. It had all 3 parts to the White Thunder trilogy and an episode before and after. The before episode was Beneath the Surface, and despite how often I watched it, even then I knew it was such a whatever episode. It was fun. They all start scrapping over a dinosaur egg during a field trip and it ends up hatching into the Dimentrozord, which is pretty sick. But nothing really happens in this episode. Like, as a kid, I was like, why is this even here? And what's even weirder is that in order, this episode comes before Ocean Alert, and then White Thunder starts after that. But on the VHS tape, it's Beneath the Surface, and then White Thunder starts. Like, they completely just skipped over an entire episode. Not that it even matters, because Ocean Alert is also a bunch of nothing.
Don't blast people with a ray that turns their face into pepperoni pizza.
Good one, Ethan.
Really?
No.
You can tell nothing is happening in these episodes when they do the morph, and it's all the Rangers morphing individually and not just like all together. Like, they're really trying to pad out for time. Despite this, we did get some developments, mostly on potential relationships. We see some of Kira and Trent budding a tiny bit, see Elsa having some sort of emotions towards Tommy, and the start of an almost love triangle with Zeltrax having feelings for Elsa. Also, this is slightly unrelated, but I felt like I needed to throw it in somewhere because it is related to Ocean Alert. Devon saves an actress from being attacked by a monster, to which she says this.
You're even braver than a Power Ranger. Have you ever thought of a career as an action hero?
And much later, we find out that behind the scenes, the production considered Devon's actor to become the Triassic Ranger because at the time, they didn't know that Abare Max and or the Triassic Ranger from the Japanese series, who we know as just the Red Ranger powered up, was just a powered up form. They thought it was an entirely separate character. And so knowing that makes this line just so much worse. Like, the Devon fan club lost so hard in 2004, dude. Trent starts to get antsy to find out what's happening with his dad after he accidentally stumbles through an invisiportal.
Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday.
Oh yeah, and I haven't discussed this yet, but spoiler alert, or rather, ocean alert. Nice. Anton Mercer is Mesogog, but no one knows it yet. Technically not even us, and he hints towards his stepson at the notion of Mesogog possibly ending his life at some point, for Trent to be ready to take over the family business should something happen to him. Oh my gosh, dude.
If anything unforeseen should happen to me, I need to know that the family business will be in good hands. Can you...
With all of this, we step right into White Thunder.
It really didn't start cooking till I got there.
I swear, I went through some sort of interdimensional doorway.
Let's go to hell.
Stop!
This whole 3-part miniseries is entirely about Trent.
You're here. Why?
You've seen that sign outside? The one that says Haley's Cyberspace?
Wait, I thought this was Tropical Smoothie. Mesogog and his henchmen have been hiding a dino gem for nearly a year, letting its energy build up behind an invisible wall. And look, what I don't understand, because we know what it is, right? It's a dino gem, but why is it a Tyrannosaurus statue surrounded by Dragozord head? Like, what is that about? Like, why specifically the Tyrannosaur? I don't know. Anyway, I always thought that was weird. I never really understood that. The White Thunder trilogy is so disturbing and creepy the more you look into it. And there's so much going on. Trent, who's fallen through invisiportals in his house before, voluntarily goes through another one, ending up in Mesogog's lair. Elsa had been working on bringing out the dino gem they'd been hiding, and once he approaches it on the bench, it forcibly latches on, beginning his connection to the Drago powers, and sending him into an unwilling morph into the new White Dino Ranger at any point. The moment this happens, you just know Mesogog finna get the belt.
Shall we bring him to you?
You have not been paying attention, Zeltrax.
They've been holding this thing for a year, and all it took was Bro's own son to step over the child-proof gate and look at it, and now everybody's in trouble.
So is this good news or bad news?
Guess that depends on who's got the gem.
Now, what I find super interesting is that Anton Mercer earlier on has stated that he wants Trent to be with him for like training, I think is what he said. I might be wrong on wording, don't quote me on that, but
I'm in high school. This is what kids do.
Maybe we can, come up with a compromise we can both live with.
I need an explanation.
When you're ready. It's a great responsibility, son, and one that we must prepare you for. We'll begin that process soon.
Saying that everything of his will be left to him in time when he's ready. And you can take that to mean the family business we mentioned earlier, or literally anything else, but could he have been hinting towards these new powers? I don't know. I don't know how this never caught me growing up, but it's not even like Trent accidentally got too close to the gem and it flew onto him. No, his hand was trembling as if it were a magnet to him specifically.
How do you know these are the right hands?
The gems are yours. You didn't choose them. They chose you.
That gem belongs to my master.
You can't choose them. They choose you.
It doesn't matter when or where, the gem starts to take over and seems to not care who gets in its way. It only wants chaos.
I'm looking for something in basic white.
Do you have any clue what he's talking about?
None.
What are you talking about, bro? What is he talking about?
Elsa sends a monster down to lure out the white Dino Gem's holder, and once this happens, it of course triggers the Dino Rangers to show up, who get absolutely obliterated by the White Ranger. And this happens multiple times, by the way. Like, these powers are no joke. Now, what I want to highlight here is just how confident the Rangers have gotten since the beginning, and just what it took to kind of break that in a way.
It's hard to tell. Seems like it's actually looking for something.
Well, it's not gonna like what it finds. Come on, guys.
They're all in, ready to take on whoever this new foe is, and the moment they realize that what they're up against is a real danger to everyone involved and the city, and can pop up anywhere, anytime, and wipe them out with ease, they start to shrink.
That wasn't what I had in mind.
Looks like game over.
Not yet.
And I love seeing this in superhero shows because it's not all that common to see the actual heroes afraid or unsure in any way.
That whole kid fun thing? Kind of tough when the fate of the world is hanging in the balance.
Should have known you were gonna have a tough time with that.
She's not the only one.
The cherry on top being that it's a direct correlation to Tommy's early days as an evil ranger before joining the team of Mighty Morphin. He knows exactly what it must feel like for whoever's inside that white helmet, and even he's a little taken back by what's happening to both him and his team.
It wasn't supposed to go this way.
An evil White Ranger? No. Of course it's been known to happen.
The Rangers really don't even have much time to regroup and formulate a plan because of how unpredictable this new situation is.
We figure out who this is and what he wants. Eggs.
When this opens, there will only be one color left in the rainbow.
It isn't long before the White Ranger finds the Dragozord egg and starts throwing energy into it. I always thought that the power he drained from the Rangers before is what's like going into the egg, and honestly that could be true or not with how little information we were given about how the Dragozord egg is just sort of there. But I mean, it really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. An entire episode is dedicated just to the hatching of this egg, and I feel like this episode really raised the stakes. It not only focused on the Dragozord hatching, but also managed to introduce the Parasaur-Zord, and it felt so real with people running around frightened, not knowing what's going on. And it's just a giant green robot dinosaur with scissors for a butt. I love him too. The Cephalozord has always been my favorite dinosaur because he's purple and has like a dome head and these stupid little tiny like boxing mitts. The Pterosaur's second, but then Parasaur has got to be my third. He's so funny, dude.
Oh, please don't tell me he's back. I'm still picking gravel out of my hair from last time.
You see how they walked out of there? They just knew they was about to get cooked. It's so fun to me when the Rangers split up. And like they had no other choice. Connor and Kira were sent off to try and retrieve the Dragozord egg. Ethan and Dr. O went to get the Parasaur egg. But in the end they were too late as Drago not only hatched, but their Stegozord was stolen by the White Ranger, creating the Dino Stegozord Megazord. Awesome.
Since when do they have bad Power Rangers?
This episode is crazy because it's mostly a face-off between Connor and the White Ranger as Connor went off to find Trent after he was basically dying on a bench during soccer practice. The Dino Gem started to take hold of Trent's physical appearance in the second part and is doing even more so now, affecting his mental and leading to one of the most brutal beatdowns in the series. The Rangers have to split up again as a monster appears in the city already gigantic, and Ethan is sent down to help Connor. Bro, super dino mode. I won't say much on this power up here because I have a lot more to say later on in a future episode, but super dino mode is actually insane and I love its usage throughout the season, especially like that little roaring animation like that. I used to love that growing up. Something about it is so weird.
Just so you know, good guys do not wear white.
After the White Ranger leaves the battle, he ends up doing something that affects Tommy Oliver for most of the rest of this show. Dr. O finds out that Trent is the White Ranger after his equipment was left booby-trapped in a warehouse, and before being able to communicate this to anyone, the White Ranger uses the tools against him and fossilizes him in amber.
Oh my goodness!
Oh god, that is the saddest, no matter how many times it happens.
Notice how I'm consistently saying the White Ranger did this, and not Trent himself. That's because it's of course not him in control. In fact, the White Ranger doesn't align even with Mesogog, confronting him and almost threatening him at points when questioned on joining their forces.
You can be one of my subjects.
I'll take a pass on that. Dragozord, online. I'm out of here.
It's so interesting looking back and knowing that not only did the Rangers have to deal with Mesogog throwing monsters into the city every single day, but now they have this other guy who's not with Mesogog, but wants to take both of them out, basically. That is so crazy, dude. The White Ranger was written so good. He genuinely wants nothing but the worst for everyone, and that motivation is more than enough for me because it's as evil can get, being just enough justification for the bad that he does. Kira and Trent's relationship starts to falter here as well, as Trent reveals to her and her alone that he is the White Ranger. And although she's rightfully against him at first, she understands that he's in dire need of help and lets the others in, who are not having it.
Haley, he needs our help.
I don't know if there's anything I can do.
Would you say that they're Romeo and Juliet? Because I get those vibes, and like even having not read Romeo and Juliet at all, and I never will. Their romantic hints though are so perfect for what Power Rangers was allowed to push, and again, makes me mad as hell knowing how it ended. You genuinely feel for how much they care for each other, knowing how helpless things may seem.
It's not safe to be around me.
But...
Like I said no!
So now the Dino Rangers know that Trent is the White Ranger, and it's gonna start this whole debacle that we're gonna get into in the next part. But it's so scary to think about the fact that you could be a superhero and the person that you're fighting against every single day is probably not in control of their own actions, and they show up to the tropical smoothie that you drink at every single day and just look at you like nothing is wrong. I also didn't mention this, but an entire thing now is that Cassidy and Devin are trying to uncover the identities of the Power Rangers, most importantly the White Ranger. So they're consistently like in the background trying to get footage of someone taking their helmet off, or just footage of the Rangers in general, and it's this big thing that lasts through the entirety of the show, which I think is really nice for Cassidy and Devin. It gives them an ongoing thing to continuously work towards, and they just get to be funny in the background. I don't really feel like I need to really mention any of their specific things that they have going on. They're just always the B plot is trying to get footage of the Rangers in some way. And of course, there's this really horribly dubbed child that everyone keeps talking about that I don't really want to talk much about because it's really stupid, but he sounds terrible, and it's very clearly an adult dubbing over him, and he sounds really bad.
All right, 6 o'clock, I'll be here.
Thank you so much!
White Thunder is an immaculately written trilogy. Everyone is perfectly on character. I feel like the writers really got a feel for these characters in this trilogy, and I can't wait to talk about the rest of the season and what we're going to start talking about in the next part, because things start to change a little bit and also get a little bit more confusing. But nevertheless, if you want to watch Dino Thunder, please at least get to White Thunder. It's so beautiful, and I can't wait to talk about the rest of the show in the next part, or at least more of the show. It's not gonna be the finale of this retrospective. Oh my gosh, dude! Now I'm gonna turn into Trent and crash out.
Let's do it.
Don't even say it.
Alicia, Amanda, Andrew, Austin, Autistic Disney, Chaco, Daniel, Emilia, Gwen, Helen, Ian, Jake, Luke, Manny, Matt, Prima Donna, Sav44, Thomas.